Hello everyone, welcome to Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Let's have a tour. The drive from Mackinac City into Michigan's Upper Peninsula begins with a breathtaking crossing over the mighty Mackinac Bridge, where Lake Michigan and Lake Huron meet in a swirl of blue. As you leave the Lower Peninsula behind, the road opens into dense forests, winding through quiet towns and stretches of wilderness that feel untouched. The air grows cooler, the skies wider, and the traffic thinner. Roadside signs point to waterfalls, hiking trails, and hidden beaches. It's a drive that feels like a reset, trading bustle for beauty, as the Upper Peninsula welcomes you with its rugged charm and peaceful, untamed landscapes. Miner's Castle is one of those places that makes you stop mid-step and just stare. It's the most iconic overlook in Pictured Rock's National Lakeshore, and for good reason. The view from the top platform is breathtaking. Layers of green-blue water stretch endlessly into the horizon, and just below, two towering rock formations rise dramatically from the cliff, sculpted by centuries of wind and waves. If you walk down to the lower viewing deck, you'll get an even closer look with the sound of the waves crashing far below and the cool lake breeze brushing your face. It feels like you've stepped into a painting. Best time to visit is late afternoon, especially close to sunset. That's when the sun hits the cliffs just right, lighting them up with golden and amber tones. If you're lucky and visit in late September or early October, the fall colors in the trees behind the cliffs make the whole scene glow. The walk to the overlook is short and easy, less than a quarter mile on a paved trail, so you don't need to be a hiker to enjoy it. But if you're up for a longer adventure, you can link it with nearby trails or even the Chapel Loop hike, which is about 10 miles round trip and offers stunning views of cliffs, waterfalls, and beaches. For a completely different perspective, book a boat cruise or a kayaking trip. Seeing Miner's Castle from the water is something else entirely. It feels even more grand when you're looking up from below.
Oh, it feels like that summer sun on quiet.
Miner's Beach is one of those hidden gems that feels like your own secret escape. Just a short drive from Miner's Castle, this wide, sandy beach stretches along the southern shore of Lake Superior, quiet, peaceful, and backed by forested cliffs. I arrived in the evening when the lake was glassy and calm, and the only sounds were waves gently rolling onto shore and birds chirping from the trees behind me. It's also one of the most popular kayak launch points in Pictured Rock's National Lakeshore. I joined a guided kayak tour that started right here, just a short carry from the parking lot down to the shoreline. From there, we paddled out along the coast, gliding past towering sandstone cliffs streaked with red, orange, and green from the minerals leaching through the rock. We floated through sea caves, dipped our hands into the cold, clear water, and even passed under a waterfall. These cliffs are streaked with vivid shades of red, orange, green, and blue, caused by minerals like iron, copper, and manganese that seep through the rock and stain the surface over time. When the sun hits them just right, it's like watching nature's own watercolor painting come to life. Boat tours offer a more relaxed but equally spectacular view, especially during sunset. Whether you're on the water, hiking a trail, or just sitting on the beach, Pictured Rocks feels like magic, wild, beautiful, and endlessly awe-inspiring. Presque Isle Park in Marquette is one of those rare places where nature feels both untamed and deeply comforting. Tucked along the shores of Lake Superior, this 323-acre peninsula is a local favorite for walking, biking, cliff jumping, or simply breathing in the fresh pine-scented air. As you drive or stroll along the scenic loop road, each turn opens up to new views, towering rock formations, crashing waves, and hidden coves where the water shimmers in every shade of blue and green. One of the most iconic spots in the park is Black Rocks, a dark volcanic cliff that juts sharply into Lake Superior. On On summer afternoons, you'll often find a small crowd gathering as brave souls line up to jump into the frigid, crystal clear water below. It's a quick rush, a shared moment of thrill, and a memory that lingers long after your skin has dried. Lake Superior, the largest and deepest of the Great Lakes, never quite looks the same twice. Sometimes it's glassy and calm, reflecting the sky like a mirror. Other times, it's wild and wind-whipped, with whitecaps crashing against the rocks. No matter its mood, it commands attention. The park's many trails and quiet rocky outcrops offer perfect spots to sit and take it all in. But the true magic of Presque Isle comes at sunset. As the sun begins to dip, locals and visitors alike gather at Sunset Point, perched high above the water. The lake catches every last bit of light, glowing gold, pink, and purple. The sky stretches endlessly above, and for a moment, time slows. It's peaceful, majestic. The kind of sunset that stays with you long after you've left the edge of Lake Superior behind. We began our next morning with the soothing promise of Bond Falls, a waterfall so serene, it feels like a dream unfolding in slow motion. A short paved path led us to the viewing boardwalk, and within moments, we were standing face to face with one of Michigan's most beautiful waterfalls. Bond Falls is wide and layered, pouring over volcanic rock in cascading sheets that tumble gently. The morning light was soft and golden, highlighting the texture of the rocks and the motion of the water. It was the perfect time to visit. No crowds, no noise, just nature at its most peaceful. We lingered on the wooden platforms, watching the falls from different angles. Each view felt like a new painting. After the peaceful start at Bond Falls, we continued west, winding our way through the forests of the Porcupine Mountains toward one of the most iconic vistas in the entire Upper Peninsula Lake of the Clouds. Even the name carries a kind of poetry, and the view. It doesn't disappoint. As we arrived at the overlook, the trees opened up to reveal a scene that looked straight out of a storybook. Nestled between rolling ridges of the ancient Porcupine Mountains, the lake shimmered far below us, calm, mirror-like, and cradled by endless forests stretching all the way to the horizon. The June leaves were lush and green, brushing up against the sky. In fall, I imagined the whole scene would be on fire with color. But even in summer simplicity, it felt wild and untouched. We arrived in Munising just in time for our pictured rocks boat cruise, the lake shimmering under a late afternoon sun. The dock sits right at the north end of Elm Avenue, easy to find and buzzing with excited travelers. We booked our tickets online a few days earlier through the Pictured Rocks Cruises website. Simple, quick, and totally worth it, since tours often sell out in summer. After checking in at the nearby ticket center, we lined up early to grab a good seat. You can move inside the boat anytime you need. The round trip is about 2 hours. Cruising along Lake Superior, the cliffs of Pictured Rocks rise like a living mural, tall, rippling walls of sandstone streaked with colors you'd never expect in nature. From the boat, it all feels larger than life. The captain's voice drifts through the speakers, pointing out hidden features in the stone, but your eyes keep drifting to the shifting palette, burnt orange, mossy green, golden yellows, painted by minerals over centuries. As the boat glides along the Pictured Rocks shoreline, kayakers paddle quietly below, dwarfed by cliffs towering over 200 feet high. Their bright boats dot the emerald waters, slipping into hidden caves and beneath rocky arches carved by centuries of waves. From above, we marvel at formations like the massive Lover's Leap Arch in Chapel Rock, where a lone tree clings to life atop a stone pedestal. The cliffs are alive with shape and texture, columns, caves, and sculpted ledges, each telling a story of wind, water, and time. Not long after, we passed the haunting beauty of the chapel tree, a lone pine growing defiantly out of the stone atop a natural arch. Its roots stretch across open air to reach the mainland, clinging, surviving, thriving. The sight is both humbling and hopeful, a reminder of life's persistence even in impossible places. As the boat glides further east, the roar of spray falls grows louder. The waterfall pours right over the edge of a 70-foot cliff, splashing directly into the lake. Mist dances in the air, catching the sunlight. Then comes one of the most beloved sights, the Heart Rock. Nature carved it perfectly into the cliffside, a heart-shaped hollow framed by layers of time. It's a favorite photo stop, romantic, delicate, and unexpectedly precise. The cliffs of pictured rocks are a masterpiece of natural chemistry, their vibrant colors painted by centuries of mineral-rich water seeping through the sandstone. Iron stains the rock in deep reds and rusty oranges, while copper adds streaks of green and blue. Manganese creates black and brown hues, and limonite lends soft yellows. These colors aren't just surface deep, they run through the rock like veins, constantly changing with rain, sun, and time. Seen from a boat, the cliffs appear alive, glowing with mineral swirls and rippling patterns that shift with the light. It's nature's artwork, sculpted by water and painted by earth. Munising is a charming lakeside town on the southern shore of Lake Superior, serving as the gateway to Pictured Rock's National Lakeshore. It's known for its small-town warmth, waterfall trails, and easy access to boat tours and outdoor adventures. With cozy cafes, local shops, and a laid-back vibe, Munising is the perfect base for exploring Michigan's Upper Peninsula. Kichidi, known as the Mirror of Heaven, is a breathtaking emerald spring tucked into Palm's Book State Park. The water spans about 200 feet wide and plunges roughly 40 feet deep, bubbling up over 10,000 gallons per minute through submerged limestone. Kichidi Kipi's iconic raft is a simple, self-pulled marvel, and riding it is part of the charm. The raft operates on a fixed cable stretched across the spring's 200 feet width. To pilot it, you and your fellow passengers take turns spinning the large wheel on deck, the same one early visitors turn to sail the raft across. Once in motion, and the raft glides slowly over crystal-clear emerald water, you'll peer through a glass-bottom portal into a world of ancient logs, bubbling sands, and trout gliding through limestone underwater stream. Stepping onto the hand-cranked observation raft feels like entering a living aquarium. Beneath the clear glass, you can spy ancient tree trunks, swirling sands, and sleek lake trout drifting in the frosty 45 degrees Fahrenheit water.